Okay, so on the screen, we're watching a training session from 2013. Yeah, got a young Paris artist back there, uh, Derek Junior Segura. Um, I don't remember the focus of this training. I just remember that other than Paris, a lot of these guys were trying to get started. Richard back there with the focus mitts on. I forget the guy's name. Working with Richard, I think his name was Anderson. Um, so a lot of these other guys I knew because they came to Fayetteville, Team Rock. They trained with me in Sanford. They trained with me at the boxing gym uh, prior to this boxing gym. So there was another boxing gym called Rocky's Boxing, and this is Jersey Mike's Boxing. So everybody but the kid in green, Anderson, I believe that was his name. I could be wrong on that, but he didn't follow me like the rest of the guys did. So the other guys, I'm basically familiar with Lex there in the red, Segura, Derek out of screen. Um, and they've trained with me one-on-one. They trained me MMA. They trained me boxing. They trained me kickboxing. So in this session right here, basically what they are learning is the other side. They are learning to be the pad holder, mid holder. There's a big myth about when do you learn this? When do you start? I don't have a problem with you starting early on. I don't have a problem with you getting that touch, getting that feel in the beginning. No. Now, when I say beginning, we're not talking necessarily like the first month or two. You're trying to get those reps in. You get the basic punch, kick. You get the basic understanding of how to put a combo together. There's no set limit in terms of like, oh, you have to know 108 techniques. No, or 27. None of that matters. So the basic combo drill that I use is basically a boxing drill. I call it the cash drill. We start with 27 basic movements just to get you started, and then we start implementing everything else: the knees, the kicks, and diversifying the targets. So this is all fine right here. Like I said, other than Paris, at this point, no one has fought. No one's ever been in the cage. No one's ever been in the ring. And this is 2013, so Paris has probably got 4 or 5 years in the game at this point. As a young teenager. So I want to say that, like 2013. When did I beat Paris? So it's 2023. This is probably his first year. You know, so technically, if I'm going back way back here, technically Paris hasn't fought either. I'm trying to get that right in my head. Um, what the date is on this? Let me make sure. Is it 2013? Yeah, it's 2013. So Paris has fought at least once, and he's probably 18 years old right in here. Just probably turned 18. What's the date on this? This was, yeah, he probably just turned 18. Probably fought one time. Uh, this was just a few months after his birthday, so you know. And like I said, none of the other guys had basically done anything, and I'm just letting them get their reps in. So there's not a lot of like, hey, do this or do that. I'm just letting them get their reps because one of the failures in training is over coaching instead of having something to coach. So my approach is to let them do what they do. Let's see what is good about it, and let's see where the mistakes are, and then coach from there. Like the good things, keep them going. Don't deter them, and then the bad things, let's fix and make some corrections. That's my approach to it. Not this whole thing of my way or the highway, um, because they have their own bodies. They've been with those bodies a lot longer than I've been with them. So if I can do one thing, and that's make them comfortable in their own skin, show them, the strengths and weaknesses of their body, self-awareness, and then put them in situations to expose where they're strong and where they're weak, which is awareness of self. You have to have some idea of who you are moment to moment in any particular situation. So rather than beat them up about it, all I'm going to do is basically encourage them to figure out what feels good right now. What do you like doing? And then I'll show them the consequences of, well, if you keep doing it this way, here's what's going to happen. And if you don't change it, you know, you got to be ready for the consequences. Also, I will show them there may be techniques in your game that just don't fit you. They're not made for you. So what I'll do is say, okay, since we know we can't do this and we can't do that, what we'll do is we'll figure out what we can do based on the target. We're trying to hit the target. That's our only focus. It's not really how we get there that should be the bigger issue. I've trained fighters with disabilities. So is it fair for me to put them in the same situation as guys who have 2 arms and 2 legs? No. So I have to learn to figure out, let them figure out how to use their own bodies. So there's nothing wrong with having a session like this from time to time, letting them figure things out. Let them work. Let them figure it out. I'm not overcoaching because, I could just interrupt everybody for every little thing. But as you can tell, they're not necessarily looking at me. I might say something in terms of maybe pick up the pace a little bit, keep it moving, but I'm letting them figure it out. I'm just letting them work. And we're not going to do 12 rounds of this, And even if we did, we're not going to do 12 days straight of this. We might choose one day. We're just letting them work. And they're just trying to figure it out. New environment. I think this might have been the first day of MMA training at this particular gym. I think that's what it was. This is the first day of MMA training at this particular gym. And I think we stayed there for approximately 6 months before we kept it moving. So, don't overcoach. Don't beat them up so much. Let them find out who they are. And then, you fit into the mix in terms of where you fit in to help. I'm Coach Sess, and you've had words with the Mad Coach.